So this is gonna be another video on how to fit the 959 eBay pipe onto a V2. This guy has obviously this bike is tuned. This is my previous bike that I made an exhaust for in the other video. My buddy ended up buying it, and he is pretty rapid on this bike at the track. He races on a full slick, and he's beyond the limits of the suspension, and he basically he pushed the suspension so hard that he drug the other pipe that was sitting about here. So he's pretty aggressive on the bike. He pretty commonly beats V4s at the track, and can outrun V4s. Well, not on the straights, obviously, but in the corners, he's much more rapid than the V4s, and they have a hard time keeping up with him. So he wants a GP style. So I told him to order another one of these pipes, and that I could make something work for him, see if he likes it. If he doesn't like it, he's going to order a MIV or something like that. So this is just something to get him away from the factory muffler. He had to put the factory muffler back on for a couple of dB limit tracks. But anyways, let's get into it. So the 959 pipe, I think these are around $100. And these are for a 959, and I couldn't necessarily figure out the difference between a V2 and a 959 as far as piping goes. Initially, I thought you had to chop this bracket off because of how the pipe exits, but I think the 959 rear sets are positioned higher or differently. That's the only thing I can come up to, because with the factory mount, I can get this to fit except for where the outlet is. It just kind of intrudes on the rear set on the right side. So I'll kind of put it up there to show you guys what I came up with. Oh, on the, so you're gonna use one of these factory mounts, and then you're gonna take the other like silver thing out of the other one. So one will be all the way through, like this kind of spacer with an indent right here, or recessed area. You're going to put one on this way, and then on the bottom one you're going to put one on this way. So you need to steal one from the other factory mount, or you need to find something like this, because you can't run a bolt just into the rubber. It'll just destroy the rubber. It won't work correctly. The mount won't work correctly. So yeah, you just put the top one in towards the outside of the bike. If I can get it back in with one hand. Okay, there we go. And then the bottom one faces this side. So behind here, it kind of centers itself on this mount. So you'll see that when you get this, if you guys are looking at this video. This side just has a nut and a washer, because I didn't want the nut resting on the rubber. So I just put a nut and a washer and a bolt through. Okay, so that's a factory engine mount on where they place that mount bracket. So you can see there's the factory mount hole. Pretty much lined up right there. And this more or less points, it can't really make it out in the video, but it points at the rear set. So you're not gonna be able to fit a muffler on there. So this is getting an Austin Racing muffler. He loves it. Super loud and violent. He loves the violent sounds. So he's all about it. So what I'm gonna do then to change the angle of the exit is I'm just gonna take out this center pie. I'm just gonna cut it here, and then I'm gonna put this pie down here and the tailpipe, and I'm gonna have this angle on this tailpipe or on the exit pipe that goes to the muffler. I'm gonna have this and this down here by just removing this pie slice, and then I'm gonna be able to angle it whichever way to get the muffler to kind of sit where I want it to sit, more or less. And we're gonna aim towards more like how the V4 is right there. Obviously that is that's a super long muffler, and it's pointed pretty much straight back, and we definitely know that clears going around corners and etc. His is probably going to face more up but back. We'll see though. I'll clip this in with another video of how that ends up. But that's pretty much it for modifying it. You shouldn't need to do anything else. So it might even be even easier than I originally thought. I didn't take out the center pie. It's bolted in right now, so it's mounted. It's on the flange. By the way, really good flange. It's a billet flange, so I can't remember what system it is, but they just flare the end. Yeah, that shit's gonna crack, and they're charging an arm and a leg for it. So all I did was make the one cut so far. I've got this end prepped. This one's pretty rough still from the cut, but we're just getting an idea right now. So basically how it was like this. And you can see how you're not going to be able to put a muffler on there. It's pointing pretty much right at the rear set, about 1/8 of it. So I think once I get the muffler here, I'll line it up. But I think all I'm going to have to do is maybe rotate this about here. And then look at what it did. It just changed. It completely changed, you know, maybe even here. It completely changed how the exit went from pointing pretty much at the rear set to pointing behind the rear set in this direction. And that's really what we want out of this setup. GP style, you know, and then clear a little Austin Racing muffler that he's got. He's bringing it over right now. But yeah, I think this is going to work out pretty easy for you racers out there. I don't think that you're going to gain a whole lot of horsepower out of different exhausts, to be honest. You know, there's somebody who's going to flame me for that, but it's essentially what it is, right? You get away from the factory muffler box. He was having a lot of problems with heat, and you can see it here. When you had the factory muffler box up here, it just sits there because it has a cat in it. It just sits there and cooks this oil pan area. It's just, the oil's not able to cool off. He got up to like 230 degrees or 240 degrees, some crazy. I can't remember what, but yeah, he got really hot. So basically we're getting heat away from the bike. That's kind of like his main concern, is getting a ton of heat away from the oil pan and away from the bike. And also basically a little bit better flow. He runs on VP 110, and he's got a tune for the exhaust that I made. But this shouldn't really make too much of a difference. He might get a tune revision or something. He's gonna ride it and try it out and have them pull the data. But anyways, I'll start clipping these videos together, but that's kind of what it's looking like, is you just take this, you know, from the current angle, whoever's fabricating your exhaust, you're doing it yourself. Don't be intimidated by this, super simple on your V2. If you have a welder, you can do this. And then just rotate it. You know what I mean? I think that's what we're getting at. I mean, you could even go like that, but I think you would drag it. So yeah, we're gonna try and get this pointed up and back so that he doesn't scrape the pipe like he's been doing, because he's pretty aggressive. So this is kind of what it's looking like. I dig it. I think it's pretty sick. So we're pretty much done. Super easy to do. I've got the Austin Racing muffler on there. Muffler. It does something. It just doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah. So still utilizing the factory bracket mount, and just did the one cut, and yeah, that's how it's looking. So, you know, if you're on your toes, you're probably gonna feel a little bit. I don't know how much, but basically it's where your heel is. It's coming out where your heel is. So your leg's gonna be way forward. Shouldn't really be able to feel it. Let's look at it from the other side. All right. And that's kind of how the factory mount Works with the bracket that is previously welded by Ching Chong Bing Bong. And I reinforced some of these welds here. Just ran over them and added material to them in potentially cracking prone areas and that kind of thing, but super solid. It's not moving. And he's got himself a GP style exhaust. Yeah. So I'm gonna try and give you a viewpoint of me on my toes. So it's, I don't even think you'll feel it, to be honest, because it's almost parallel with the back of your foot when you're on your toe, and then of course when you hit the brake, and then when you lean, it's inside of the foot peg, so you're not going to scrape it. So yeah, I think it'll be fine. Now let's do it.